In this video, I'll be covering the new features in custom data entry in version 7.6.6. So, several of the things that we've added revolve around LabCal and additional info, being able to enter that data in. So I'm going to go in ahead and design a form. So go to Design Custom Data Entry. Brings up the designer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a form to enter in my Effluent TSS. So I'm going to do locate daily variable. I'm going to go ahead and choose my Effluent TSS variable. And what I want to do is this is going to be a weekly form. So I'm going to enter data for 7 days, and I want to place the date beside the data. Next, I'm going to go to the Sample Info tab, and I'm going to check off the fields that I want to also enter. So these are the LabCal fields. So I want to fill out the analysis start, analysis end, analyze by, and method. So when I enter that data through custom data entry, it will go into that LabCal sample. Additionally, I can do additional info fields if I've set those up. So if I have data additional info fields, I can also set them up as cells in this custom data entry form and enter that data. In this case, I'm only going to do the LabCal information. So again, 7 days, place date beside data, sample info, and I'm ready to go. I go ahead and click OK, and what it does is it locates and links, this cell here, as I instructed, to Effluent TSS, and that's day 1, Effluent TSS day 2. But here what it did is it linked it to the Effluent TSS, but it's the LabCal field, the analysis start date. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to make these fields much wider, just so I can see what's going on. Maybe a little bit wider. So I've got these fields set up. Now one thing I want to do is, I know I take samples during the work week. I take it Monday through Friday. So right here I'm going to put a formula so I can know the day of the week. So D format of the date in C5, and I want the format DDD, which is just like MON for Monday. In this case it's Thursday. And then I'm going to press the F5 key to copy special, highlight, and F6 so I can know the day of the week. Next, I'm going to enter in my title so I can know what I'm doing here. So this would be result. This would be start. And what I'll do here is I'll type in analysis. Merge this across. Maybe make it a little prettier with a border. So that's start, this is analysis end, this is by, and this is method. So I'm probably going to want to go in here, center all this, again do a border, do the same here. Bold so I can make it look at least decent, and you get the idea. So now I have a TSS weekly entry form. Now the other thing I'm going to want to do is I want to lock in the date that this form pulls up. So we have a new feature in 7.6.6 which allows you to set the date, the day of the week that this form can be opened up at. So I go to form options, and right down here I get form date type. So I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to say this form can only be opened on a Sunday. So if I pick any day of the week, it's always going to pick Sunday. I can also set it to the first day of the month, and the other option is last day of the month. In this case, I want to set it up to be Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now Sunday is, it's going to, in the designer, it's going to say, well, that's Sunday is the first day, and what I can do is I know I don't take a result on this day. I may take a sample every now and then, so I just don't want to clear that date out. So I'm going to go ahead and click this and shade this just a different color. So we'll just shade it light yellow or something like that. Just indicating you don't need to go to these cells. Auto Advance won't go to these cells, but you could still click on them. So once I'm done, I've got at least a decent looking form here. I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to call it my LC for LabCal TSS effluent form. and I'm going to pull down this group, and I'll put it in the custom data entry group. So now I'm done with design. I'm going to close it out, and let's go ahead and use that form. So I go to Data Manager, Data Entry Forms, click on my group, Custom Data Entry, and I have a LabCal TSS form, the one I just designed. I'm going to go ahead and open that form, and it comes up, and here it is. It allows me to enter the results. This is just like it always has worked in WIMS. I can enter the results, but I can actually now enter in all these LabCal fields. The other thing is if I go in here and I say, well, how did we do, who did this stuff last week? I'm going to go click on Wednesday of last week. And when I click go to load that data, notice it loaded up 6/18, not the Wednesday, because it's always going to be on Sunday. So that way I can filter it out, or I highlighted it, but it still is going to pull up just that week. So I look at last week, and it looks like Brian and Jan did the work last week, so maybe this week I'm supposed to do it. So again, I can essentially pull up any day, and it goes to the previous Sunday. So on the 29th, I'm going to go ahead and enter in my results. So on the 29th, let's say I get a nice number like 29, and the analysis starts. So here I got to type in a date and time. Now, one nice thing is I have this little button here, and it's indicating that it's going to set it to the current date and time. So I can kind of see what the format is. And I am running the test on the 30th here, but what I want to do is I started that, let's say 20 minutes ago. And now I've got a time here. I am finishing it right now. And if I go here, again, this is a feature where it defaulted. I'm logged in as Super. I've linked Super to the personnel record of Scott Dorner. So if it's me, I can just click the default button to choose it. And it defaulted the method because this is the default method for the TSS test. So in this case, I'm good to go, and I just go ahead and click Save. And that data has been saved. Now, I can reduce this down. Let's go ahead and pull up LabCal. We're going to look at yesterday's effluent sample here on the 29th. The TSS 29 is in there. And if I double click on this sample, I can look that that data has been entered, has been brought in, not brought in, but entered into from the custom data entry form into LabCal, and therefore any form that shows it, either a monthly data entry form that might use it, a report that refers to it, and or the close edit sample or the custom data entry form. It all works off of one thing, so it all is integrated now. Thank you very much.